Rachel and I in Couch Lock have been talking a long time about how horror is one of the still original genres that is going on today, and I still feel that way, especially after seeing Talk to Me. Talk to Me was directed by Danny and Michael Philippou, who run YouTube channel Rocka Rocka, who have over 8 million subscribers. It just reinforces what we've been saying about original voices coming to horror and really making a big splash. This movie had a tight 1 hour and 30-minute runtime, which was very appealing to me, especially after coming out of Oppenheimer. Now, this movie stars Sophia Wilde as Mia, Alexandra Jensen as Jade, and Joe Bird as Riley. Those are our three main characters that we're looking after. And I'll say right now that Sophia Wilde as Mia is up there with Lupita Nyong'o from Us or Toni Collette as Annie from Hereditary. Mia sets herself up as very relatable. She's a character who doesn't quite fit in at parties. Her and her dad don't have a good relationship. She stays at her friend's house all the time. Her dad doesn't get a lot of screen time, but anytime he does, he has a great performance. So she goes to this kickback where everyone's gathering around this hand, and she grabs the hand and she says, "Talk to me." Now, this is our first taste of what the horror is going to be like in this movie. It's not jump scary, which I appreciated, especially after coming off of Insidious. It was very atmospheric, very anxiety inducing, very terrifying horror that you couldn't look away from. But she goes through this and comes out of it absolutely loving it. At this point, it reminded me of a bunch of hormonal teenagers gathering around and doing whippets and watching each other freak out. Oh, that was awesome. You kind of get possessed during this ritual. During Riley's turn, he gets possessed by seemingly the spirit of Mia's mom. So Mia pushes the seance or the ritual to last longer than 50 seconds, in which Riley gets possessed and starts bashing his head into the table. There isn't a whole lot of violence in this movie, but when you see it, it is grotesque and nasty. Riley's banging his head into the table until finally his sister intervenes, and then he is sent to the hospital. Every time he becomes conscious, he tries to bash his own head in to death. Now, Mia, this whole entire time, is using the hand to communicate with the other side. She sees Riley's soul in this constant torture by spirits. They're picking at his body and eating at him, and it's nasty and it's very disturbing. Now she figures out that she has to kill Riley in order to save his soul. Towards the end of the movie, Mia goes home and Mia's dad says, "Hey, there's something I need to tell you." Mia's dad tells Mia that her mom unalived herself on purpose because she had left a note. Mia is sort of in disbelief because her mom has told her otherwise. This is a point in the plot where it sort of gets cloudy and a little confusing, but I think that's intentional. Mia's mom is saying, "That's not your dad. That's a spirit pretending to be your dad." Her dad, or dad, finally breaks down the door and starts choking Mia. Mia pushes the spirit version of her dad off of her. At the same time, her real dad is helping her up. She grabs a pair of scissors and stabs her real dad in the neck and kills him to death. So Mia's at the lowest point now. She's talking to her spirit version of her mom, who is saying, "You need to go kill Riley's body or else this torture is going to continue on him." She takes him into a wheelchair and is going to push him out into oncoming traffic. Very light movie, I know. So there's this really weird cut, and it sort of kind of plays into the confusion of the plot, the traffic, like something gets hit, you don't really know what, and then you zoom out and it turns out that Mia had thrown herself into traffic. You assume that she's dead, and she is. Mia sees a light in the distance. She walks towards it and she finds a person who is holding their hand out, presumably holding another version of the hand that they have used to do the rituals. Mia, of course, reaches out, and then they say to Mia, "Talk to me." And then the movie ends, which is a great way to sort of flip everything on its head. It was very interesting to see it from the other perspective. It sort of made it feel like the whole concept itself was fleshed out, but there was still some confusion. Like, was that actually Mia's mom? Did her mom actually unalive herself or not? It left me with some questions, but I didn't mind it. I felt like that was intentional. And the whole time there was so many great scares, and not even jump scares, just sitting in horrific atmosphere and genuinely making you feel scared and nervous. The last time I left a movie feeling like this was after Hereditary, although I will say Hereditary affected me more. This movie definitely did a great job at scaring me and not using any cheap tactics to make me feel scared. This was a great horror movie. It was an original story, original vision, and I'm excited to see what else these guys come up with, and they deserve every ounce of recognition that they're getting.